Alright, welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys? I know you're watching us from my group by the names of Rock and David. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name. It's a Saturday, 15th of March 2025, and United interest in Jonathan David is there, and they're obviously tracking this player. But we're obviously going to be discussing the permutations of how this guy can obviously opt to join Manchester United or not. Rasmus Hojlund has gotten a message, or a warning message from Eriksen, his fellow Den international in there. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you are really one of those people that hasn't gone ahead to subscribe, let's see to it that you subscribe and we hit 11,000 subscribers onto this beautiful channel of ours. United search for a striker is on, especially for senior striker, but with problems of the financial fair play, as we've gone ahead to hear that Giovanni Kenda couldn't obviously join Manchester United because of the financial fair play. United will obviously look at the free agents that are on the market to obviously choose who are the favorites to join the club of Manchester United. And Court Offside have come up and told us that Jonathan David has rejected approaches from Brighton, West Ham United, as he wants a top 6 club. Man United and Chelsea are two of the clubs more interested in him. He will not make a rush decision and he's taking his time. Now, put so much a lot of attention to detail on this deal. I've seen United being linked to people like Victor Osimhen, Victor Gyökeres, which other center forward, Vlahovic, but all those players are really players that United will need to spend huge to obviously have those players into our squad, meaning that free agents might be what we're obviously going to be turning to see to it that we bring them on and strengthen our squad a little bit and see how things are really going to pan out. And Jonathan David is like, I'm not obviously stooping low to go to Brighton and West Ham because these clubs were really interested in the player and was like, no way. Do you know how long I've waited to obviously come and play for top 6 clubs in the Premier League? That is a huge question there for you. And after setting that question for him, he gave himself an answer that he wants to go to the top 6 clubs. And by the way, he's talking about the traditional top 6. That is Manchester United, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. Who is it Newcastle? I think those are the traditional top 6, and I think Aston Villa can also obviously join the queue in there. And after him obviously wishing to obviously play for the top 6 clubs, Man United and Chelsea are two of the clubs more interested in him. He will not make a rush decision and is taking his time. Now, I really fear a lot when I see a team that is really ahead of us interested in a player like Jonathan David. You understand? Because that means the player cannot opt for us. That is it. He cannot opt for us because Chelsea is placed 4th on the Premier League table. You understand? And they have high chances to qualify for the Champions League. We know that. United, the only chance they have to qualify for the Champions League is if at all they obviously go ahead and obviously win the UEFA Europa League. And that's why every game we play in the UEFA Europa League should be a final. And Lyon is obviously going to be a very huge test for the club of Manchester United in there because they've gone ahead obviously put in a very huge performance. And when you look at Lyon, they are placed 6th onto the League One table. It's not going to be an easy game, And Jonathan David would want to play in the Champions League because this season he has gone ahead to play in the Champions League, and I think he wouldn't like to look back. And he has played 14 games in the Champions League, scored 9 goals, and he has gone ahead to put in 4 assists, meaning that he has 13 goal involvements in 14 games. That is really quite a performance coming in through from Jonathan David, a player that everyone thinks he has taken a lot of time without crossing to either the Premier League, Bundesliga, Serie A, or La Liga. And I think it's his time to cross. Now, in the league, if you talk about the league of France, this season, he has so far played 23 games and he has scored 14 goals and 3 assists. You know, he's 5 goals away from equaling the number of games he really played in there for you. And remember, they are supposed to play 34 games, meaning that he's left with 11 games to go, and I tell you, he's obviously gonna hit a 20 goal mark this season in the league. So it shows you that he's really scoring for fun as a player, and he would love to obviously extend his form in a team that's obviously gonna be playing in the top 6. And I know United might obviously really make an offer to Jonathan David, but him coming to Manchester United might obviously depend on other factors, you know, especially interest from other clubs. Because if clubs like Arsenal, because I've just gone ahead to read a story about how Bartha, the new sporting director of Arsenal, is a huge admirer of Jonathan David. Then Chelsea is also into the mix. AC Milan also wants to sign the player. Them and Juventus are also looking to sign the player. Even Barcelona is really one of those that are really having interest in Jonathan David. And Jonathan David has already gone ahead to make a statement that he supports Barcelona and would love to obviously be a player at Barcelona. And Barcelona, as I know them, they might obviously convince Jonathan David to join them on free this summer, such that next summer they obviously sell him and really get in some money. You saw what Barcelona did with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. You know, he came in through as a free agent from Arsenal, because even Arsenal had to pay £7 million for that deal to go through. Then there was also a player known as Frank Casey. They got him as a free agent from AC Milan, and they sold him for like 30 million euros to the Saudi Pro League. So Barcelona has been doing this, you know, in the problems of the financial fair play they're really having. They are really trying to convince these free agents obviously coming through and obviously have like a season. Even if they sell him for like 20-30 million euros, that will be okay for them. But if Jonathan David, I believe the club that can obviously get me into the starting spot is Manchester United, because Rasmus Hojlund needs a senior striker to really be there, such that Rasmus Hojlund acts as an understudy. So if I'm Jonathan David, I think the right club to go to is Manchester United. And I know that in the preseason, this manager Ruben Amorim will obviously set United into the playing style that he wants, because a huge assessment has been already made by the side of Manchester United, and he knows exactly which players he needs to obviously integrate into his team. And during the preseason, we all believe that a lot will obviously go our way as a club of Manchester United. If I'm Jonathan David, I go to Manchester United, because I know I'll obviously play the ball. I'll be playing games in, games out, and I'm competing with Rasmus Hojlund, who is really gonna be my understudy. So if I'm him, I go there. If it's Chelsea, there is a player known as Nicholas Jackson, who has been loved by every manager, and I think it will take Jonathan David a lot to obviously overtake him. But the good thing is that even if he goes at Chelsea, Chelsea creates chances, and this guy will obviously put them into the back of the net. And maybe Chelsea went ahead to obviously go in for Giovanni Kena, knowing that they are going to convince this guy. And when I see Chelsea in a deal like this, I really get afraid, because Giovanni Kenda, United looked like we were at the forefront of everyone going in for that player. But from nowhere, Chelsea came in, they swept in, and they really signed the player. So I'm really afraid when I hear that it's Chelsea again trying to obviously have the same interest in the same player that we as Manchester United are really having interest in. So let's leave that at that, and let's obviously go to the next story coming in through from Eriksen. Eriksen has come out and obviously had something to say about Rasmus Hojlund, his fellow Den international, and these have been his words. As United looking for strikers like Jonathan David to come in through, Eriksen has the following to say about the goal drought of Rasmus Hojlund. He has said, "There is a lot of players on the pitch, me included, that should score some more goals. It's not him, but he's a striker. He lives for goals and tries to score goals. He's in these situations with getting chances today." He also added and said, "Now it's about getting the belief of scoring but he's hardworking. He's a hardworking guy who tries his best and wants his best for the team. At some point, it will click and it will go the other way. Obviously, he's like telling him he needs to obviously start scoring goals. And you saw him on Thursday. He really was involved in the first penalty that United went ahead, obviously, gate. Then he was the one that was brought down for the first penalty that we got to equalize that game. Then fourth goal, it was his cutback to obviously find our well-placed Diego Dallo that placed that ball into the back of the net. That is how he is really hardworking. And I went ahead obviously see a clip when Ugarte and Garnacho were being asked who is the most hardworking player in the field of play. Sorry, who really stays behind when the training is done. They said, one said Onana, and the other went ahead to say one went ahead to say Onana, and the other went ahead to say, what did he say? The other one said Rasmus Hojlund, meaning that he stays back to work hard to see that he improves onto his finishing experience in there for you. So I call upon for your reactions into United in for Jonathan David. What do you make about it? He's 25 years of age. I think he fits well to the plans of Ineos in there, and they're really looking good in there. 25 years of age, and he made 25 January this year. Canadian international, and is 1.78 meters tall. That is the guy known as Jonathan David. It's not the first time he's linked to Manchester United, but I tell you what, he is one of those that has gone ahead to see to it that he puts in a very good shift in there for you. So, good morning, my mates. First video of the day, and more videos are really coming your way. We out.